spread it out and make it one piece, or you can keep it close together and just weave it through. Create some lines in there. Just give it a little bit of movement. So,
Can you show us the grass? Just read the grass
Yeah.
you're talking about?
Yeah. So this is still grass. It's kind of a flat grass. It's an Australian grass. Some of this is
Just weave it through.
just weave it through. Yeah. It's fairly flexible. It's an Australian grass. Sometimes it's called kangaroo grass also. But it's a grass over the lake. Is that right? And so I created this piece. Want something on an angle, something a little different. This could maybe go on a sideboard or something. I've basically taken a metal ring. I covered it with raffia, attached the Oasis mesh wire, and it's the wire comes in three different colors. It comes in silver, copper, and gold. So this is gold. And then I just started weaving in little bits of bamboo. I love to use bamboo. It's all dry bamboo that I've sourced in the neighborhood. And I reuse it. I have a neighbor that he called me like 2 months ago. He said, "When are you coming to cut some bamboo from my yard?" I think, well, I have been coming and cutting a lot. And he said, "Well, come and cut some more." So I have a good source for it. I just need room in my condo for it. So this piece, I did that, and then I started adding in little bits of bamboo rings. I ordered these bamboo rings thinking that they were like this size bamboo ring. And then I got the package in the mail, and it was so that was a surprise. And I thought, well, I could do something with that. I don't quite know what yet. So I have these glued in various places. I added in some of the curly pods, and this is wool. This is wool from Lerner Wool. Lerner Wool is a company in Austria that makes wool for the floral industry.
Nice.
And this is the wool. This is a product. This is the line they call it's called Raw, and no one's seen this. No one's seen this except for people in my EMC program. Because we were there at the factory, and this is one of the things that they sent me to work with. So this will be a new product that they're going to introduce and be on the market, hopefully by the end of the year or beginning of next year. And it should be available to you. I think we're going to have boxes of different wools that you can buy and have shipped directly from Lerner to you. So if maybe you want to share it with somebody, I'm not sure of the cost. I think the cost is about 125 euros. But if you're getting a box full and you split it with someone, that might be the cost. But don't quote me on the price.
What is it called again?
This is Lerner, L-E-H-N-E-R, Lerner wool. On Instagram, it's Lerner Style It. So they make this. This is natural wool from Austria.
Is it sheep?
It's sheep. This is another piece in the natural line. They also make a lot of stuff in colors. It's wired, different thicknesses, little thin cording, double-sided, like 2-color felted wool, which is absolutely beautiful. I have so many different types of wool at home that it's astounding. Because I can't stop collecting it because it's so beautiful. And I'm just beginning to learn how to work with it and what I can do with it. So, it's just fun to play with.
You could source it, by the way, through Mount Vernon, because I know the woman who has their weaving program, and there's a co-op in Maryland that they get that same wool, raw wool.
Yeah. So you can find wool in all kinds of places, so it doesn't have to be from there. I just love what they do. They're really a very sustainable company, and most of the products are made for the floral industry.
By the way, I looked up your curly pods, $4.50 on Etsy.
Really? Good, because I couldn't find them when I was in Belgium.
Yeah, I just found them.
Okay, I need to talk to you later. So I basically have built a structure in the back to hold this inside. This is done with wire and straight wire, and then I put the paper covered wire. I use this a lot. It's just paper covered wire that comes from Germany. And you can buy various types of that on Amazon. Sometimes or you can also buy the bind wire from Oasis. And the water source, I have a loamy bowl, and I just cover it with rubber bands. So this gives me something, to hold everything in place, because color-wise matches.
Yeah.
And here,
Oh, very clever.
Did you have to take the rubber bands at all?
no, it just takes a little bit of working. I just kept putting them on and kind of just making sure they stay in place, because at first they want to shift a lot.
Well, how did you do it?
Try not to fill it too full, because they have to move it. First material I'm going to use is this oxypetalum, which is a Tweedia. So Tweedia is it's in the milkweed family, so it does have sap. It does bleed sap. So what I've done is I cut it this morning and singed it in an open flame just to seal the ends, so that I didn't have to do that here. And what happens with rubber bands is the rubber bands hold my flowers in place, so there's no moving around.
What is that flower?
This is Tweedia, or oxypetalum is the Latin name for it. Love blue flowers, and I realized in the last year that I love them so much, but there's just not much you can get. Iris, it has a weird shape. It's like every time I see them, I don't hate iris, but it's very awkward. Agapanthus, it's large, it works for some things. So I'm really interested in finding more flowers. Brodia was one when I first became a florist, which is available. It's a very small flower that looks like a little miniature agapanthus. It's an absolutely beautiful flower. Yes?
What was the name?
Brodia. And it was commercially available in the US in the 80s and then just kind of disappeared. And even in Europe, it's like they still produce it, but you rarely see it. You can buy it. I tried to grow it this summer. It didn't quite come up, but I think it needed to winter over in those bulbs. So hopefully next year we'll have some. But it's a beautiful blue flower. And I think we need more blue flowers. Borage is another nice one that I used this last year, and borage really lasts really well in water. So it's an alternative blue flower that you can grow really easily. And I think it comes back as a perennial. Correct? Yeah. So chamomile, and one thing I wanted to talk about was, so what happens when you have these carnations that start to have that little bit of rot, and you have it, and you're like, okay, I'm going to lose it, I can't use this carnation anymore, I'm losing money, or I'm losing material. Make it into something else. So now you have this interesting little kind of cup flower.
How long will those last?
Lasts for a long time.
It'll even dry out. Turn brown.
One thing I learned from Gregor was not to throw anything away and find use for everything. He's really the master of it, and I learned a lot from him. But this, one of the reasons I chose the blue and I chose these flowers, has a very light feeling, and I wanted to keep that feeling just kind of going with this design.
How long will the chamomile flowers last?
That's a good question. I've had them actually last for at least a week. Yeah. And again, it's going to depend on where the material came in and how fresh it is.
You're making a woolly meadow.
It is. It's beautiful.
And I don't want to fill it in completely, because if I fill it in completely, then I lose all the work I've done. I don't want to cover all that up. And I think that's another reason I like your design too, because you don't have to use a ton of flowers. You can create something interesting. It requires minimal use of flowers.
Do you follow the NCAGC designs, or do you just do whatever?
Do I follow what?
Do you follow National Park Club designs ever?
There you're back.
Do I follow them? I mean, do I see them, or do I try to make designs? I did in the past. I find them very interesting. I think I like the fact that there's a lot of out-of-the-box things in garden club. And that's what I'm really interested in, things that aren't the everyday American design.
There. That's good. A little bright. It's, Cheryl. Cheryl. It's on. It's. Oh,
So earlier I was up, going out to the restroom, and someone noticed that I had pollen all inside my face.
Tap it again. It's too bright.
And I thought it was just a
Tap it
little, and I got
again.
into the bathroom, and I was like, oh my God, there's like the whole side of my head is covered in pollen. And, because I carried the bucket downstairs to my apartment.
It was better darker. There. Keep that. Keep that because you can see the color.
What are those?
This is, well,
You can see the color.
that's a good question. Lily balls is a common name. Everyone might know it as Cressipedia, but one of the things we do in our school is we study nomenclature. We make sure the students have to know all the correct Latin names of flowers because it's a common language. So when we, everyone in different countries, they all have different names for everything, so it gets very confusing. When you know the Latin name, you have a common bond. And so the name, which was for years Cressipedia, is now Pisanoris. P-Y-N, that's the start of it. I can't spell it. It's taken me a while to not call this Cressipedia, which even the growers still call Cressipedia.
What else is in that family?
Yeah. Right. No.
I'd have to go back and look. I mean, generally we'll do in the nomenclature the family names, but what we really concentrate on is genus and species, just so we know just what we're doing. But part of their assignment is to know the families and to know how they grow and care and handling. Care and handling is really important because, anytime it's what we're working with, we need to know how it works, how long it lasts, how to condition it. When we're digging it in, we need to know if we should send it back or not, like with donations. So this is
That's adorable.